Sunday evening, and a knock sliced through Daichi's apartment, a sound he never expected on his off day.
No one visits. I didn't order anything today. This better not be some sales pitch.
He opened the door with a rehearsed line ready until he saw the bright red jacket and platinum ponytail.
Delivery! Your usual yakisoba, right on time.
I didn't order anything. Not today. You have the wrong apartment.
Daichi-san, right? Same address, same order, 4 nights a week. I know your order.
Confused, Daichi fumbled for his wallet. Her grin never wavered as he handed over the cash. She vanished down the hallway before he could form the simplest question, the brown bag growing heavy in his hands. He checked his delivery app, no recent orders. The screen told him nothing he wanted to believe.
Then who paid for this? Why is she showing up on a Sunday with food I didn't ask for?
7 days blurred past, but the unease from that strange delivery sat in his chest like undigested food, refusing to dissolve. Sunday morning arrived, and Daichi found himself staring at the apartment door long before any knock, his coffee untouched. Then the knock came, sharp, insistent, as if it knew he was waiting.
Delivery! Your usual yakisoba, extra ginger, right on the dot.
Again? I didn't place any order. This is the second Sunday in a row you've shown up with food.
System says you did. Same address, same order notes. I just bring what the app tells me.
He shoved the cash into her hand, every coin feeling like a small defeat. She pocketed it with that same unshakable grin and vanished down the corridor before he could argue.
No mistake. No app record. Someone is sending me food and I'm paying for it like a trained pet.
He grabbed a red marker and circled next Sunday on the wall calendar, a thick, angry ring of dread. The next Sunday arrived like a scheduled threat. Daichi had taped a note to his door. "No deliveries, please." He sat and waited. When the knock came, he didn't move. His heart hammered, but his body stayed frozen on the couch. Through the peephole, he saw the platinum ponytail and red jacket. She didn't seem annoyed by the silence. Risa simply crouched, placed the paper bag on the doormat, and walked away without a backward glance. Daichi waited 5 minutes before cracking the door open. The hall was empty except for the warm bag at his feet.
No charge slip, no app notification, not even a text. What is she playing at?
He tore through his banking app. No pending deductions. The delivery service showed nothing.
Free food? I can't eat this. It feels like evidence of some crime I'm being framed for.
3 Saturdays passed, and each Sunday left another bag on his doorstep. The pile in his kitchen grew, uneaten.
I'm either the luckiest freeloader in the city or the target of a long con. I need to find out which.
Daichi started with the only lead he had, the restaurant name printed on the crumpled receipt, Yatai Yakisoba.
My regular spot. Could their delivery system be so broken it sends phantom orders to random customers?
He searched the number online, stared at it for a long minute, and pressed dial. Only a busy signal answered. He tried twice more, the same monotone rejection.
Small shops sometimes ignore the phone on weekends, but every Sunday, that felt like a sign.
The next logical step was something he'd avoided for months, leaving his apartment to confront a real person.
I haven't been to that place in over a year, but if the owner is clueless, then this situation is worse than a system error.
He pulled on jeans, actual jeans, and shrugged into a jacket that still smelled of storage. Pocketing his phone and the stack of receipts, he opened his door for the first time in days without a delivery waiting.
If the restaurant knows nothing, then someone is deliberately targeting me, and that thought sends ice through my veins.
20 minutes later, Daichi stood before Yatai Yakisoba, the small sign glowing in the evening haze. His hand hesitated on the door.
Welcome. Ah, Daichi-san, it's been a while. The usual yakisoba, right?
Actually, I need to ask about my orders. Something strange is happening and I'm hoping it's just a system error.
Strange? Let me pull up your records. No, nothing unusual. You only order 4 nights a week, like clockwork. But wait, Risa, the delivery girl, she comes in every Sunday on her day off, buys the same meal with her own tips and takes it away.
Her own tips? So there's no phantom system. She's been paying out of pocket for every single delivery.
That girl has more grit than anyone I know. Always talks about saving for something big. But I thought you two were friends or something.
Friends? She's never even spoken more than 5 words to me outside. Delivery. What is she doing?
The owner's laughter filled the small shop, but Daichi felt a cold trickle down his spine that no hot meal could thaw.
She's buying my dinner on her days off with her own money. That isn't a crush. That's something else entirely.
Back in his apartment, the door clicked shut behind Daichi, but the question hammered louder. Why would she pay for his food?
Delivery. I know your order. The same grin, the one fang, every time. Was that a message? Some kind of signal?
He grabbed his phone and typed a message to his only online contact, a fellow freelancer who thrived on worst-case scenarios. The reply popped up without a pause. Sounds like a stalker. She memorized your schedule and spends her own cash to see you. That's not cute, man.
Stalker. The word landed like a cold stone in his gut and sank.
He checked the door lock twice, then a third time, and yanked the curtains shut against the evening streetlight.
What if she's outside right now, watching? I haven't felt this cornered since my last rent eviction notice.
He stared at the wall calendar and its angry red circle around next Sunday, a countdown he never agreed to.
I can't keep hiding. Next Sunday, I open that door and demand an answer. No more paying, no more silence.
He pulled out a notepad and wrote a single line, rehearsing it under his breath. Why are you doing this? Sunday crawled in like a verdict. Daichi woke with the question still resting on his tongue. The notepad's words seared into memory.
I'll say it exactly as I wrote. No hesitation. Why are you doing this? Then wait and watch her face.
He stationed himself by the door, the notepad still crumpled in his pocket, a talisman of the confrontation he'd rehearsed 1,000 times.
If it's a crush, I'll reject it cleanly. Not unkindly, but definitely. If it's something else, I'll handle it.
He checked the peephole twice in 10 minutes, flinching at every distant thud from the stairwell. At exactly 2:07 p.m., an hour earlier than any Sunday before, a thin electric buzz cut through the silence, a delivery scooter locking into place.
Why earlier? Is she that eager? My heart's slamming against my ribs like it wants out before she even knocks.
He forced himself not to look through the peephole. He would open the door with the question ready, no fumbling. Light footsteps approached, quick, efficient, no hesitation, and stopped just beyond the door. Then the knock came, softer this time, almost polite, as if she already knew he was waiting on the other side. Daichi swung the door open without checking the peephole. Risa stood there, and behind her the red scooter ticked quietly at the curb.
We need to talk. The owner at Yatai told me everything. You've been paying for my meals yourself.
Risa didn't flinch. Her golden eyes held his, and the familiar grin returned, but this time it seemed almost patient.
So you finally asked. I wondered how long it'd take you to come out of your shell.
No embarrassment. No apology. She's completely in control. My rehearsed speech means nothing.
The hallway shrank between them. Daichi's hand tightened on the doorframe.
It's not what you think, but I can explain here or inside your choice. It'll only take a few minutes.
If this is some kind of weird prank or obsession, I'm calling the police.
Her grin widened, the fang catching the dim light. She didn't look threatened. She looked satisfied.
She's not a stalker. Whatever this is, it's calculated, and I still don't know the reason.
I'm saving to open my own delivery business. Your orders? Nearly 30% of my income last quarter. When you didn't order weekends, I lost my rent margin. So I bought and delivered myself, hoping you'd reimburse.
It's not a crush, not a stalker. I'm a revenue stream that stopped flowing on Sundays.
She reached into her jacket and pulled out a worn notebook, its pages dense with handwritten budgets and savings charts.
I tracked every yen. Your consistency made you my anchor client. I projected rent around your orders.
But why not just find new customers? Why go this far just to keep my business?
Most customers are random. You ordered the same meal 4 nights a week, so I built my entire plan around you.
I was a data point, a stable variable in her hustle equation, and I locked my door like a terrified idiot.
I know it was underhanded, but I was desperate to stay afloat. I was going to tell you once I had enough saved.
I prepared to reject a confession. Instead, I got a pitch without the handshake. This is absurd.
The absurdity struck Daichi like a cartoon mallet, and before he could stop it, laughter boiled up from his chest.
Why are you laughing? I just admitted to gaming your orders for rent money.
All this time I thought you had a crush. A weird stalker crush. But you were just managing your revenue stream.
A crush would be a lot less efficient. I don't have time for inefficiency.
She joined him, a sharp chuckle that melted the last of the tension in the doorway.
I locked myself in, checked the peephole 12 times, messaged a friend who called you a stalker, all for a spreadsheet.
I saw your note. No deliveries, please. I almost left a reply. Pay your anchor client. Rent is due.
Anchor client, you really have no filter, do you?
Filter slows you down. I want my own brand, my own fleet. This is just step one.
All right, come in. I still have a fridge full of your guilt yakisoba. You can explain the rest over actual food.
Inside, Daichi cleared a space on his cluttered table. Risa opened her notebook, the pages alive with colored charts and marginal calculations.
Here's my breakdown. I've identified 3 neighborhoods with no dedicated express delivery. Low competition, high demand. My pricing undercuts the big apps by 15%, but still nets me a solid margin, even after fuel and maintenance.
She's not guessing. Every number has a footnote, every route mapped. This isn't a side hustle, it's a launch plan.
My savings target is 2 million yen. I'm at 83%. Your weekend orders would have closed that gap by now.
So when I didn't order, you literally couldn't afford rent. And instead of getting mad, you just delivered ahead.
Getting mad wastes energy. I pivoted. The food cost was cheaper than losing my room, and I banked on your honesty.
She's relentless. Annoying, sure, but also kind of incredible. When's the last time I chased anything with half this fire?
He scanned the notebook for any missing piece. Her plan had numbers, routes, costs, but no logo, no brand face.
No visual identity at all. Just a girl and her scooter. If she had a logo, something memorable, that gap won't fill itself. I'm a freelance illustrator. Your plan has everything except a face. Let me design your logo.
I can't afford big design fees yet. Every yen goes into the savings target.
Consider it an advance on my future yakisoba. You already owe me 5 meals you bought without asking.
A logo for food debt. That's a weird barter, but I like it. Deal.
They shook on it, a promise sealed over cold yakisoba and a spreadsheet, both of them grinning like co-conspirators.
I'll have concepts by next Sunday. No more phantom deliveries, just actual work.
Only if you actually order on Sundays. My savings are still watching you.
I'll order extra ginger. Consider it a signing bonus.
This means more than you know. I'll make sure your logo isn't wasted.
I just traded my skills for yakisoba. That's either the smartest thing I've done or the dumbest. Feels surprisingly right.
3 days later, Daichi slid his tablet toward Risa. 4 rough logo sketches glowed on the screen, none of them right yet.
Too slow. A delivery logo has to scream speed. The food should feel like it's already at the door.
Fast, but warm. Not a blur. A mark that stays in your mind like the smell of fresh yakisoba.
He scrapped everything and started fresh. A paper bag sketch with motion lines caught his eye, and he added wings.
A paper bag with wings? That's either ridiculous or genius.
It's your brand. Fast delivery that carries warmth. The bag takes flight.
That's the one! You actually see my vision! This logo is going to be everywhere!
For the first time in months, Daichi felt a quiet, solid pride.
Now put it on bags, scooters, jackets. When people see wings, they'll think fast delivery.
She's already scaling before the ink is dry. This partnership might just grow real wings.
2 weeks later, Risa's app went live. Daichi saw his winged bag logo on a delivery jacket mock-up. Real, not a sketch.
It's official. Risa's Quick Bites. Your logo is already on my scooter. People are asking where I got it.
Orders trickled in, 3 the first day, 5 the second, enough to keep her phone buzzing, but not yet enough to pay rent.
Is it moving fast enough? The numbers look tight.
It's tighter than I'd like, but my margin holds. Give it a month.
Daichi created her social media banners, menu templates, even a promotional video thumbnail. All barter for more yakisoba.
I'm in deep. My portfolio consists of food bags and delivery scooters, and I don't hate it.
A food blogger in the West District messaged me. She wants to feature my brand if I give her a week of free deliveries.
That's a gamble. You'd be operating at a loss for exposure.
I didn't survive by playing safe. I'm doing it. You want in on the promo design?
I'm in. Send me the blogger's info. I'll mock up a video thumbnail and a review graphic.
Good. But honestly, we're barely breaking even. No growth yet.
Daichi glanced at the week's stats on his phone. Flat growth, but not yet a decline.
Then we push harder. This next promo is on me. Consider it part of my yakisoba investment.
You keep adding to my debt. At this rate, I'll owe you a lifetime of noodles.
Their late-night calls became ritual. Spreadsheets and mock-ups passed back and forth like a secret language.
You've got more grit than anyone I've met. It's freakish.
Freakish is a compliment in my book. Efficiency is the only art I really understand.
He laughed, and the sound surprised him, warm, no guard up for the first time in years.
I'm not just a designer on retainer anymore. I need her to succeed.
3 mornings later, Daichi's phone wouldn't stop buzzing. The notifications stacked like a digital tidal wave.
What the? Is this some glitch? My logo is everywhere.
He stumbled to his desk, opening the trending hashtag. A local food blog had posted a glowing review of Risa's Quick Bites. The winged bag logo sat at the top of the post, shared thousands of times. Comments poured in demanding the app link.
Daichi, are you seeing this? The blogger posted last night, and it's blowing up. My phone has been ringing non-stop.
Daichi scrolled through his own feed. Retweets, quote tweets, people tagging friends. A sleepy Sunday had turned into a launch pad.
Orders are flooding in 30 in the last hour. My app almost crashed. I can't keep up alone.
Then hire someone. You're not a one-woman fleet anymore. You're a brand.
A brand, with your logo as the face. This is actually happening. My savings target is about to be a joke.
She did it, and I helped. For the first time in years, I feel like my work matters.
That evening, a knock came, unexpected but no longer unwelcome. Risa stood there, holding 2 bags, her jacket now bearing the winged logo.
I brought the good stuff. Consider it a dividend on your investment.
She set the bags on his table and slid a single sheet of paper across the clutter.
A contract? With numbers and a percentage?
Official designer, 10% equity. No more noodle debts. This makes you a stakeholder.
Daichi barely swallowed his bite before a laugh escaped, incredulous.
10%. For a logo I bartered for food?
That logo is the face of a brand that just exploded. Don't undervalue it or yourself.
He grabbed a pen and signed without another word, the stroke more decisive than any brush line in months. They shook hands, the winged bag hovering between them on paper, now a binding promise. 6 months later, the winged bag was no longer just a logo. It was a local icon, plastered across bus stops and billboards. Risa's fleet had grown to 12 scooters, each wrapped in Daichi's design, zipping through 3 districts. A newspaper spread featured them as Startup of the Month, the photo showing Risa in front of her fleet, Daichi's art on the wall.
His art gave my brand wings. Without Daichi, I'd still be one girl on a scooter. That's what I told the reporter.
She credits me in every interview. I still don't know how to handle it.
His design commissions had quadrupled. His portfolio, once just fan art, now anchored local business campaigns. But every Tuesday, he still sketched new concepts for Risa's expanding menu, unpaid, because the stake was personal.
You ready for the next evolution? I want a physical storefront. Need a full brand package.
How many yakisoba is that going to cost you?
At this rate, I'll just deed you a share of the Tokyo ramen supply.
Weeks later, on a Sunday that held no dread, Daichi lounged in his pajamas, a sketchbook open on his lap. No delivery expected. A knock broke the silence, but this time he walked to the door without a rehearsed line, only curiosity.
No app notifications, so this can't be a delivery. What's the occasion?
She handed him a box instead of a bag, and on its side his own winged design stared back.
You actually put my art on the food boxes. I thought that was a joke.
Every single one. The first print run just arrived. I wanted you to open the very first box.
The same apartment. The same delivery girl. Everything changed, and nothing has.
Told you I wasn't a charity case. Now it's the brand that paid my rent, your art on every shipment.
He opened the box, steam rising, and for the first time, the yakisoba felt like more than dinner. No contract needed to understand what had grown between them, a partnership built on a strange sundae and a winged paper bag. 1 month later, Daichi stood behind a podium, the winged logo glowing on a screen behind him, a crystal trophy in his hand.
This logo started as a joke between ramen debts, but it became the face of a brand built on sheer, relentless grit.
In the third row, Risa sat in a borrowed blazer, her platinum ponytail pulled tight, golden eyes fixed on the stage.
I owe this award to the most determined delivery driver I know. She taught me that a knock on the door can change everything.
He actually said that. I'm going to owe him a lifetime of noodles.
After the applause, they slipped out into the neon evening and walked straight to Yatai Yakisoba.
Same counter, same menu. Who would have thought a string of unwanted deliveries would end with an empire and an award?
Not unwanted. Pre-invested. Admit it. My efficiency was the best thing to happen to your pajama-clad routine.
You're still counting. Fine. Next round of yakisoba is on my 10%.
They clinked glasses under the warm yellow light, the winged bag looking back at them from the menu board. No longer just a logo. Life resumed its quiet rhythm. 4 nights a week, Daichi's phone pinged the same notification. No surprise, just a promise. The screen read, "Your regular order is on its way." The winged bag icon flashed beside the text. The knock came, brisk, unhurried, as familiar as his own breathing.
Extra ginger, as always. The app even remembers your mood now.
I used to dread Sunday knocks. Now it's just another notification I'm happy to answer.
He returned a nod, the briefest exchange of a glance that carried all the unspoken history. The paper bag bore his own design, the winged bag soaring across the brown surface like an old friend.
I barely notice it's mine anymore. But every time, it reminds me how far we've come.
He unpacked the container, the steam carrying the same scent that had once made him suspicious, now just comfort. The apartment was the same, but the quiet felt inhabited now by partnership, by purpose, and by a winged bag that never stopped flying. Sometimes the most persistent knocks opened the most unlikely doors. Daichi stood by the window, looking out at the city he'd once hidden from. A scooter hummed past on the street below, the winged bag logo catching the last light.
He didn't see it. His mind was already back at the tablet, sketching the next project.
He turned from the window and settled at his desk, stylus in hand. The apartment was quiet, but no longer empty. The branded food bag still rested on the table. Its logo seemed almost ready to lift off, a small testament to an improbable journey. The view pulled back, past the sofa, past the drawings pinned to the wall, to the window. Outside, a delivery empire had grown from a single knock, and inside, a recluse had found his place again. The winged bag kept flying, and Daichi kept drawing.